You may walk by our office daily without a second thought. You may not even know her name. But Mrs. Garner, an administrator's assistant here at Daniel Hand, has played a major role in our school's community.
Mrs. Garner is battling ALS, also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or Lou Gehrig's disease. ALS is a very rare disease that affects the nervous system. Despite having this disease, Mrs. Garner has been able to maintain a positive outlook on life.
ALS is called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's known as ALS, it's known as Lou Gehrig's disease.
So Mrs. Garner is always all about Daniel Hand and about the students. So something students might not realize that she's chaperoned many school events. There are always students who came in and stopped to talk to her that I got to see a lot in the library when we were both in the library. She and Mrs. McNellis, who used to work in guidance, they were the yearbook advisors for many years and worked on the yearbook with students. So students always felt that they could come in and see Mrs. Garner, and she always interacted with students at school beyond her job, always beyond her job, as she does today.
We think a lot alike. She can finish my sentences and vice versa. So we have a lot of respect for each other, and the collegiality that we have ultimately benefits our kids. And she's been great. She's been absolutely great.
So Mrs. Garner is a really hard worker. She's a whiz on the computer, which was a great help to me when she was in the library. She's very efficient. But you all know Mrs. Garner, the very sweet angel on my shoulder, Mrs. Garner. I'm just going to tell you that she has a devilish side. She's very sweet, but she can be a practical joker too.
I just think she's one talented lady. You know, I remember going to her house and all the little crafty things she could do, and I remember she made her own headboard and, you know, just things like that. And she's got one heck of a dog named Bromley. Huge dog. Just wants to get in your lap.
I would say there's a lot of qualities. Her enthusiasm, her patience, her compassion. And she's an all-in person. First of all, she's very smart and bright and talented. But when she does something, she gives 100% effort.
So she's a very good friend of mine. I always say, sometimes we have our talks and I say, you know, thank you. She's very good support for me, so thank you for my therapy. And she's always been very helpful and still is. And she's a lot of fun to be with in and out of school. But in the last couple of years, my admiration for her has really increased. And if you talk to students about persevering and sticking with something and dealing with things that are hard, there is no better example in this building than for them to look at Mrs. Garner. And I'm proud to call her my friend.
She's just, not only is she a colleague, she's a friend. I wouldn't call her my secretary, I call her my right-hand person. She's my assistant. She could fill in for me in the blink of an eye. She knows what I would do. And we are in constant communication, but it's a nice feeling of satisfaction when you have a capable person at the helm when you're not there.
The strength and courage that she has shown through all this has been remarkable. You know, there's not one thing I want to complain about in my life. I would call her a champion. Because she is multiple strength type of characteristics. She's like my hero.
Well, every time I want to have a whiny moment, I just say, are you kidding me? You go look at your friend, Mrs. Garner. And it really puts things in perspective. And when things, for me as adults, not just with students, if things seem tough and hard and not really going your way, she really helps me keep perspective. And certainly if she can persevere and joke around as she continues to do and have fun, then that sort of reminds me of how lucky I am.
Yeah, she's just a wonderful person. You know, her boys are lucky. They have an outstanding mother. As a person, she's just one of the, I don't see a lot of the underclassmen don't know how awesome she was. You guys do. But she just was that, you know, she's one of the most important people in this whole school.
She's just one terrific lady. And you can't help but love her. When any of us have a need, like she does now, we just all step in and support her. you know, there's just something about when you have a working relationship, it's almost like losing a limb. You know, we'll learn to get along without it, but it'll take a while.
Is there any message that you want to give the students and staff of this school?
Yeah. You are what keeps me motivated. People are not my two times or grab a jolly matter or just wave and they go by. The HHS is a very special place.
Has your illness taught you anything in particular about life?
Yes, I live each day to the fullest. I woke up this morning, so the rest is positive.
Which charity would you want to promote most?
Well, my oldest son, Rich, is participating in a to defeat ALS fundraiser, and his team, which is called Jackie's Army, has raised over $4,000, and he has said if his team reaches the goal, which is $4,000, he will do the ice bucket challenge at the top of the mountain. We'll see.
Now, a lot of people in this school see you as a symbol of strength and dedication. What keeps you motivated?
That I love my job. I love the DHHS family. Plus, I'm looking forward to being a grandparent. So I still have a lot of things I want to do. I'm not done yet.
So the next time you take a walk past Mrs. Garner's office, take a second to acknowledge how amazing she is and how lucky you are to live the life that you do.